Hey guys, welcome to the Pomp Shop YouTube channel. The weather's not super great today, so I'm going to take this time to do a little bit of maintenance on my 2001 NB Miata. We're going to get in and we're going to change the fuel filter today. I haven't done it since I've owned it, so we're going to just jump in and swap that out. Alright, so the first step in the process is we got to get the car in the air, and if you don't have a lift like me, it's perfectly fine. All you're going to need is a jack and some jack stands. We're going to go ahead and get this up in the air so we can start working on it. So these are the tools you're going to need for the job. You're going to need some sort of fuel line disconnection tool. We're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm socket on a 1/4 or 3/8 ratchet, it doesn't matter, and some way to get your wheel off. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to pop the wheel off. All right, so now that I got the car in the air, I'm going to use my 21mm socket on my 1/2" impact, and we're going to go ahead and bust these 4 bolts off and get this wheel out of our way. All right, so now that that's out of the way, we're going to get in here. I'm going to bring you in close. The fuel filter is behind a shroud, which we're going to use our screwdriver and other tools to get off, and then we can get out the filter. So our fuel filter is behind this shroud right here. It just has some plastic clips and screws, so you just unclip all of these Phillips heads and pry them out, and then we can get at our fuel filter. All right, so now that we have all of our screws out, we're going to go ahead and try to muscle this out of here. Shouldn't be too terrible. Give us access to our fuel filter, and yours will most likely look like mine. Mine is very corroded, probably hasn't been changed in a long time. I know I haven't changed it since I've owned it, but I'm going to go ahead and get some PB and try to soak down all these bolts so we can have an easier time getting it out of there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use our 3/8 fuel disconnection tool here, and we're going to pop this connection off and this connection off so that our fuel filter can be removed once we take the bracket off. I have a oil catch pan under here, so we're going to go ahead and just catch all this stuff that's going to spill. So we're going to pop this on the line like this, and then you push it up in there, and it should disconnect. But if they're crusty like mine, you might have a harder time. Pop out. There it is. And you're just going to let the fuel drain because you are most certainly going to spill some here. I'm going to go ahead and get these other connections off. All right, so now that I've popped this line off, I can leave my tool on there and I can get it out in a minute. We'll go ahead and pop this one off the rest of the way. Make sure you cover yourself in gasoline while you're doing it, of course. I'm going to let that drain for a minute. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull the filter out and swap in the new one. All right, got the fuel filter out now, and it is definitely crusty. That was a little bit more of a bear than I anticipated. I had to actually go up in there and take the bracket off, which was 2 10mm bolts. I had to get the bracket off and get it out of the way in order to get my fuel line disconnect tool in there. We'll look at the new filter and then we'll get it installed. All right, so here's our old filter. Definitely seen better days. She's probably been on there for a few years. But I have a wick replacement fuel filter. And you always want to match them up even though they're a different color and whatnot, you want to make sure that they are pretty close to exactly the same. So let's go ahead and throw this in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pop our caps off, and we're going to put our bracket back in there, just like so. And I'm gonna worry about bolting the bracket up once I have the fuel lines reinstalled. And it's just as easy as pushing them back on there and they'll lock tight. And you should hear a click when they go in, just like that. And then this line, get him on there, stop the leaking. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put the two 10mm bolts right back in the top, and then one 10mm for the clamp right here, and then we should be ready to set her back down and start it up. All right, so now that those two are secured, we're gonna go ahead and take the last bolt and clamp our filter in. And this one might be a little bit tricky, but I think I'm actually gonna grab some pliers real quick just to make it easier. And put our wrench in there. Don't want to tighten it down too much and crush your filter, but you definitely don't want it wiggling loose. All right, let's bring it down and start it up and see if we have any leaks. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and like and subscribe for more.